why NFTs are absolutely worthless in the short term. The reason I say that, and it's not to belittle anybody that has NFTs, I think NFTs have fantastic utility. They provide digital ownership and a full recording account that's immutable of the lineage and specific data around an item, whether that's a digital or physical item. I think they'll be used prolifically in the future across almost everything that we do on a daily basis. The reason I say that they're not useful in the short term is there's no regulation around them. I see so many people trying to use them in the capacity that they will be used in the future, uh, but there's no legal recourse, right? So until there's actual regulation that states the digital identifier, the NFT that's issued against some item, whether that's physical or digital, has legal ramifications and in court will stand up as the title of that object, it's a moot point. It's not going to happen. And so I was just looking at, I got sent a deal this morning. This guy wants to issue NFTs and fractionalized ownership of M&A transactions. I see so many people that want to do that for cars or for real estate or for all these other wonderful applications. Again, I think that in the future, it's probably how things go. But in the short term, there aren't regulations around that. So the way that I think things are going to go, and the reason I'm going down this other path, is that you're going to need these assets held in qualified custody. So I just did a video a little bit ago on the new rules that have been proposed by the SEC and what those state. And in there, they talk about other qualified assets such as art, real estate, collectibles, a lot of these things that people are already excited about tokenizing. They are going to make sure that they're held in qualified custody. And if that's the case, you might as well just go the regulated route and be able to take these to market now. And that's through tokenized securities, right? So you'll have an SPV or an LLC that owns the underlying collateral, whatever that might be. It might be private equity. It might be a business transaction, an M&A transaction. It could be real estate, again, collectibles, artwork, wine, whatever you are wanting to raise capital for, okay? And then be able to trade the shares of. I think at least for the next 2 years, we're not going to have real clear guidelines on NFTs. And so you're not going to be able to issue the NFT against the physical item and then trade the shares in that item, the ownership in that item. I'm very confident that you're going to have an SPV or an LLC or a company that owns the underlying collateral that you then issue shares for and then create marketplaces, right? So you might have tokenized shares in the company that owns the underlying collateral that's held in qualified custody. So if it's a piece of art, maybe it's held in a museum somewhere. If you've got a collectible, liquid marketplaces or liquid marketplace, Logan Paul put that together. Those trading cards and the collectibles that they have there, they're held by somebody that's providing insurance and making sure that they're taking good care of them, and there's no possible way that they can get damaged or stolen. That's really what the qualified custody piece is. And you want that. If you're an owner in that, you've paid good money for it, you don't want the possibility that it's going to get lost. And if there is a problem with it, you want some type of insurance or recourse on those items. And it also makes it very easy to work within compliance and the regulations that exist, like I talk about, to issue tokenized securities against these, or just regular securities. You could sell an SPV and just do a regular exchange for the equity in the company that owns the underlying asset. So the whole value of the company is the underlying asset. And an SPV, for somebody that doesn't know, that's watching this for the first time, is a special purpose vehicle. And really, it's a company that's organized specifically for the purpose of purchasing something and raising capital to do so. So that's the way that things are going to exist in the short term. Again, I love NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I think that they are a fantastic application of blockchain and smart contracts. And you're able to, schedule out royalties, and you do automated payments and a bunch of other beautiful things that will exist in the future. But until there's real regulation around that, people in the courts realize is the ownership, until that connection is made, it's not going to be anything that's acceptable. And until then, we're going to continue to have to operate in the capacity where there's clear guidelines around things. And so, again, I'll just mention this, was at CoinAlts earlier this week, and a lot of people are still on that piece. They see the possibility with NFTs. They want the tokenized interest or ownership in that item. But I think that there's going to be the underlying layer of maybe there is a digital title against this asset eventually, but you're still going to have that company that owns the underlying asset that you tokenize the shares in, and you can sell those to different parties or trade them in a marketplace. Just wanted to bring this to y'all. I think that it's a common misconception across the industry, and there's really not that many people talking about it. So would love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't liked, subscribe, please comment on the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.